Magician!
Hey YouTube, Magician84 here, and once again I'm here to rant, this time about the hate towards classic boss monsters. More specifically, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon, the Egyptian gods, and Exodia. And I am so sick and tired of people hating on these cards and their support cards. What did they ever do to anyone? This, I just think this hate is just unfair and completely uncalled for. Well, Exodia, I kind of understand, because it is a troll deck after all, but it's still a classic boss monster at the end of the day, and it's a troll deck that actually takes skill, unlike Storly, Burn and Deck Out decks. Well, Exodia FTK, not so much. That version of Exodia is just toxic as fuck. It's the only variant of Exodia that I really hate with a passion, but other than that, Exodia is actually fair and balanced, unlike Burn, Deck Out, and Barrier Statue Stun. I don't even know why there are people who would rather face Storly Burn than Exodia. I question this logic. It makes no sense to me. I'm not even playing a good Exodia deck. Well, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying it's not as good as the Blue Eyes Exodia FTK or the Heart of the Underdog version. Whereas mine is an old-fashioned version using the old strategies, using Emissary of the Afterlife, Witch of the Black Forest and Sangan to search for the pieces, and using Messenger of Peace, Marshmal on Wabaku and Threatening Roar to just hold off attacks and stall. And it's just easy to beat. But at the same time, it does take more skill than Storly Burn and Storly Deck Out decks. I don't care what anyone says. I'm just not going to agree with anyone who says otherwise. And then there's the Egyptian gods. I don't know why they get hate, and people complain about them. Well, I guess maybe it's because the Numeron Raw Turbo build is a thing. And yeah, I get that. It is too easy to win games that way, but that's more down to the player rather than the archetype. It's just a case of those cards being used and abused for OTK purposes. But whereas some of us want to focus on running a deck that play all three of them, not just one. I could play a deck specifically based on Ra if I wanted to, but I wouldn't use it for OTK purposes. That's not my way of dueling. I just think it's more fun focusing on all of them, have some variety. But even then, the deck's not perfect. With my Egyptian God deck, I just run into some issues where I either brick or I lose because of something ridiculous, like a battle trap or a hand trap. I have won games with it though, but not a lot of them. Um, uh, that being said, though, I want to prove to a certain someone that they're not cringe. Like, yeah, and show that they can win games and that there's more to it than raw dot deck. I mean, maybe there's another reason why they get hate, like, I don't know, but even so, I just still think it's unfair and unjustified. But then again, they don't seem to get near enough as much hate as Dark Magician and Blue Eyes. Like, there's just been too many times now where people have complained that they get too much support and they just call them and their support cards crap, which, you know, is uncalled for. As, like, first of all, there is no such thing as a crap card. And I don't agree with anyone who says otherwise. Like, it's just mean, if you ask me. Now, don't get me wrong here. I agree that Dark Magician and Blue Eyes do get too much support. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of both cards. I like their support cards, well, except Dragoon and Magician's combination. They're the only support cards that actually deserve hate. But again, like I said, I agree, they do get too much support, and there are archetypes and specific cards out there that deserve support more than they do. Like, I'm with you on that one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like it when Dark Magician and Blue Eyes get more support, but whenever we get more, it just gets harder and harder to fit it into the decks, as well as cards that I want to keep in. I'm sure others feel the same way, so yeah, I do agree that they get too much support, but that still doesn't give you the right to call them and their support cards crap. Like these are fan favourite cards we're talking about here. Like, you could be insulting someone's absolute favourite card for all you know, and you know that can be very hurtful. And yeah, alright, I know I've shown hate towards cards and decks as well, but that's different. Like, because first of all, I don't call cards and decks crap, and second of all, I only show hate towards cards that are either degenerate as fuck or are cheap shot banish cards, and I also only show hate towards decks that basically do things that don't let anyone play the game. You know, whether it OTKs, locks a deck down in some way or another, or both, FTKs, or is a troll deck that is neither Exodia or Destiny board. Because, like Exodia and Destiny board are the only troll decks that actually take skill, and they're the only ones I do genuinely like. But that's beside the point. But going back to the decks that do things that don't let them play, I find that, to me, they defeat the whole point of Yu-Gi-Oh! The point being that this is a game, and games are supposed to be fun. It's not about trying desperately to win all the time with cards that basically say you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! And when I play Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to actually play a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because some of us don't want to get gamed turn one before we've had a chance to do anything, or have our decks locked down by some bullshit board of negates, or disruptions, or floodgates, or all of the above, so that we can't fucking do anything at all. Otherwise, it's not fair. So, at least when I hate on a card or a deck, believe it or not, I actually have a perfectly valid reason behind it, like, even if you don't agree with me. Whereas anyone hating on classic boss monsters and their support cards are just hating on them for no good reason. Like, well, again, except for Dragoon and Magician's combination, because like I said, they deserve some hate. Yeah, going back to Dark Magician and Blue Eyes though, it was already bad enough, like, back in the day when, like, meta players were just insulting them and calling them crap. Now, they're getting hate because either they get too much support, or I'm just not playing them in a competitive way, or they still complain about things I do with the deck anyway. Like, I'll get to that in a moment. Now, it's been like a few weeks now since people gave me shit for not playing Dragoon, Ash, and Floodgates in my Dark Magician deck or something like that, and trying to get me to play it in a way that I don't want to play. That seems to happen every time I do a Dark Magician deck profile, I swear, despite the fact that I have said time and time again that I hate Dragoon and I don't want to use him. I don't play in tournaments anymore, therefore I don't play competitively, so it really doesn't matter. And it just pisses me off when, you know, people just try and get me to play it a competitive way anyway, despite what I've said. It's like, why does no one fucking listen to me? I even did a rant about it in the comments section of the last profile I did, and thankfully that seems to have stopped, but like, if it happens again, then I might just not bother doing deck profiles anymore. I mean, last time I gave up doing profiles, like, I know you guys weren't happy about it, and you basically persuaded me to keep doing them again, and I have done them again, you know, for you guys, because deck profiles are enjoyable, although the problem I had before seems to keep coming up. Well, like I said, not so much in the last few weeks, but I might just consider just not bothering with deck profiles anymore if this problem happens again. I'm just sick and tired of it. In fact, Dragoon's very existence, as well as Ash's existence and the existence of Floodgates, plus, you know, players taking the game too seriously in one way or another, like being a Dragoon fanboy or someone with too much of a competitive mindset, are a few of the reasons why I stopped playing in tournaments. Like, it was to specifically get away from these things so that I don't have to deal with them anymore, and I sure as hell don't want competitive aspects of the game being brought into the casual side. Like, screw competitive play. Like, seriously. Like, I don't want anything more to do with the competitive side. And, you know, the decks that do things that don't let anyone play, regardless of whether they're meta or not, are the main reason why I stopped playing in tournaments. Yeah, I'm just sick of people saying, oh, why are you not playing Dragoon? Your ratios are wrong. You should be playing this meta card and that meta card. Just shut up and let me play my deck my way. Like, because it's my deck, not yours, and how I play it doesn't concern you. I mean, even if you claim you're genuinely trying to help, like, I do appreciate it, really, I do, but unless I ask for help, I don't need any help. Like, you know, and the suggestions of Dragoon and Floodgates will not be accepted, because everyone should know full well by now that playing cards that stop the opponent from being able to play is not my style. As- Again, while I'm in a duel and wanting to be able to play the game, I also want the opponent to be able to play as well, so that both me and the opponent have a fair and equal chance of winning, as well as having fun. You know, it doesn't matter to me if I win or lose my games, as long as I have a chance to do something and can, play the game. That's all I care about. But then again, it seems that even when I'm not playing Dragoon and Floodgates and stuff, my deck still gets some unfair and undeserved haze. And people are like, oh god, not Dark Magician. I hate Dark Magician. This deck is annoying. Like, why? What is your beef with my Dark Magician deck? Like, because like I said, I don't play Dragoon or hand traps apart from Apprentice and Magic Rebo, and I don't play Floodgates. Like, I feel like my deck is being unfairly judged because too many other Dark Magician players are playing Dragoon dot deck, but some of us don't play Dragoon dot deck. Some of us want to play, Dark Magician. I guess the main cards, or the only cards people complain about, are Dark Magical Circle and Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. And yeah, I get it. Circle is annoying. I find it frustrating being on the receiving end of it as well. So I get it, really, I do. But Circle is so easy to counter. There's far too much back row removal in the game. Plus, I struggle against monsters with targeting immunity. Cosmos, Blue Eyes Chaos Max, Lunalight Leo Dancer, Goki the bloody giant ogre of all things. And it's a struggle when I get stuck behind monsters with targeting immunity, so I have to figure out another way to overcome it. And then, of course, certain people have complained about the setup of Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, Circle, and Eternal Soul. And yeah, that it is also annoying being on the receiving end of it. I get that, but it's a board that can still be broken. Like as good as Dark Magician the Dragon Knight is, it can't stop a mass banish effect, like Topologic Trisbana, or something that, or an effect, a non-targeting spin or bounce of my back row, like Rainbow Neos, for instance, or Giant Trunade. I know Giant Trunade's banned, but you get the idea anyway. Either that, or you just kaiju the Dragon Knight, or attack over it with a stronger monster, and then when I try and revive the Dragon Knight from the grave with Eternal Soul, just chain FST, or Cosmic Cyclone, or Twin Twisters. Boom! Problem solved. But even so, I don't always get that set up, because like I keep saying, I can't get Dark Magician the Dragon Knight out consistently enough. Even if I do play 2 copies of Timaeus the United Dragon and the Eye of Timaeus. There is also Secrets of Dark Magic, but it's not that easy bringing Dragon Knight out with Secrets of Dark Magic, because that requires me to play a Dragon-type monster. Well, fuse Dark Magician with a Dragon-type monster, although I guess I can... Wait, yeah, what am I on about? I can just fuse Dark Magician with Timaeus the United Dragon if I want to. Okay, so that's 4 cards, but there's no guarantee I'll see them every single time, and I don't always get that setup every single time. So, there are other things I can do with my Dark Magician deck. It's not a one strategy deck. And more to the point, I'm still not doing anything to stop anyone from being able to play. So, yeah, like I said, I just think the Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Egyptian God and Exodia hate is just unfair and completely uncalled for. They don't deserve it. They did no wrong to anyone. And I'm just sick and tired of it and wish it would stop. Of course, they're not the only decks I've played that got haze. There's some non-original series decks that randomly got haze, like Rainbow Neos, Black Wings, Raid Raptors, Galaxy Photons, Red Dragon Archfiend, Rockets. Now some I can kind of understand, but some I really don't understand why. Rainbow Neos I do kind of get, because Neos Fusion makes it difficult to get rid of, but Rainbow Neos still isn't that hard to overcome. You just bait out the protection of Neos Fusion, or just get rid of him with an effect that doesn't target or destroy. And yeah, spinning monsters or the entire graveyard back is annoying, but you can still bounce back from it, and there's just so much monster effect negation nowadays. But other than that, yeah, I kind of get the Rainbow Neos hate, but still don't like that it gets hate at the same time, considering it's my 3rd favourite card. Raid Raptors, I do understand, because Ultimate Falcon exists, but going for Ultimate Falcon isn't the only thing Raid Raptors do. There are other things they can do, like shenanigans with Ark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, or Revolution Falcon, or Revolution Falcon Air Raid. I personally prefer to try and win games with Revolution Falcon, because it's my favourite Raid Raptor. Galaxies, again, yeah, I kind of get it, because Afterglow makes it too easy to win with, plus Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, Cyber Dragon Infinity and Hope Harbinger make it difficult to overcome. But I only played the 1 copy of Photon Lord, and I don't even use it unless I have to. Whereas meanwhile, I don't even play Cyber Dragon Infinity and Hope Harbinger in my Galaxy Photon deck, because they're 2 out of 4 of my most hated Xyz monsters in the game, and I refuse to use them. Of course, that being said though, the shenanigans with Afterglow and Photon Lord are pretty much why I got bored of playing the deck. But despite this though, it's still one of my favourite decks to play of all time. Red Dragon Archfiend, well, I kind of get, because Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss and Red Supernova Dragon exist, but I don't even play those cards, because they're synchros that I really don't like and don't want to use them myself. But again, that's down to personal preference. Like, but what's wrong with Blackwings and rockets? I don't get it. Like, Blackwings don't even do anything to stop you from being able to play, or at least not my version of Blackwings anyway. All it is just a synchro spam deck. So I don't get why they get hate. And what's wrong with rockets? Like, all that is just simply a link spam deck, using the rocket monsters to set up for the borrow links and even the nightmares if need be. And I genuinely like setting up for Borrelode Dragon and Borrel Sword Dragon, which are two of my top 10 favourite link monsters. Yeah, the only irritating card in the archetype is Borrelode Savage Dragon, I guess, but as you guys know, I don't play it in my rocket deck, because it's one of my most hated synchros in the game, and I don't want to use it myself, and I'm sick and tired of one person in particular just giving me shit for hating on it and saying, oh, it's the card you hate. Shut up and give it a rest. But other than that, like, I don't understand why certain people are hating on rockets. I just wonder if they're getting confused with Dragon Link, which is completely different. I don't get it. Of course, regardless, I'm just more annoyed about the Dark Magician and Blue Eyes hate than anything, and I'm just sick of hearing it and don't want to hear it anymore. Because, again, it's just unfair, unjust and uncalled for. Of course, this is all one man's opinion. Like, maybe you have a different opinion, I don't know, but this is just me venting and just fed up of the classic boss monster hate. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Dark Magician YouTube channel.